I believe learning should be done in a fun way, in a fun, lively, but yet effective way. I am going to be teaching you a secret, my secret actually, how I have helped countless number of students, managers, aspiring managers, HND students, bachelor students, masters and students to understand the BCG matrix and the GE matrix, not just for the sake of their exam, but for the sake of using it in the long term. Matrix and a GE matrix is studied under the course General Policy and Strategy for the HND and the Human Resource students. If you are an e-commerce student, it's studied under the course Strategic Management. So in this course of General Policy and Strategy, we have a topic. We have to handle a topic known as corporate portfolio analysis, and there the two measure analysis that are being discussed are the BCG matrix and the GE matrix. So today, in a fun way, right, an easygoing way, I will be sharing with you my secret, how I have taught hundreds and thousands of students to understand this matrix. Sometimes, more like most of the times, or like all the times, students complain that this particular course, strategic management or general policy and strategy, is very complicated. Yeah, it is true, it is complicated, but I have developed easy way for students to understand the topics under this course. And today I'm going to be sharing with you a secret that I use with my students, right? Because the BCG matrix, understanding it and drawing the diagram can be somehow tricky, and the most trickiest one is the GE matrix, because it has 9 cells, so students sometimes get confused where to put how to label it. So there's like a kind of a mix up, but in this video I'm going to be giving you easy peasy steps on how to draw the two diagrams. So I have been teaching them these for more than 5 years, and I have been doing a lot of research into these into management in general. Management is way too broad, into strategic management, and I have done a lot of reading about this. So it is due to the reading and even equally practical. I've done a lot of practicals on this, and it is due to that I have come up with this secret, right, that I want to share with you. I've been using the secret already in class with my students, but today I am going to share it with you. Looking at the syllabus for the HND students and equally for the bachelor students, you come to realize that there is a focus on corporate portfolio analysis. But then I think for the master's student, because master's students will have this course and they'll call it corporate strategy. So with the master's students, there is this extension. Today in this video I'll not discuss about the extension, but I just want to give you a little hint, right? Because corporate strategy and general policy and strategy or strategic management has been taught at the HND and bachelor level. You come to realize that masters, bachelor, HND, there's like a difference, because for the master's students, before jumping in and looking at the corporate portfolio analysis, they will have to first of all look at value creation and corporate parent, right? And under that they'll have to look at value creation, value adding activities of a company, value destroying activities of a company. They'll have to look at portfolio managers, synergy managers, and parental managers. Now these are all very fun analysis that master's level students look at. Like strategic management is like the most interesting course that you'll ever study as a management student, as a business student, or even marketing student, right? Strategic management is so very interesting. That is why I would say I'm kind of addicted to it, because I do, and that has actually pushed me to do like a lot of research into it, into the managerial strategies. And I tell my students that the normal strategies that you look at, right, at the HND and bachelor level, you haven't even started, right? Because there are a lot of strategies in management. Maybe I'll recommend you, some books to read, in some management and books to read in a different video. So if you want this recommendation, just let me know, right? Just comment under this video that you want this recommendation of books, because I've read a couple of them and they're really so interesting. Back to what we are supposed to be discussing today, the BCG matrix and the GE matrix. So in a while, I'm going to go over to my board and just show you how to draw the diagram in an easy peasy way. But first of all, what is the BCG matrix and the GE matrix? I'm sure you have heard and read a lot about the BCG matrix, so I'm not really going to go deep into explaining the theory behind it, but what I would do most is to show you how to draw the diagram. So basically, the BCG matrix can equally be called the growth share matrix, because it basically talks about the growth of a market, the growth rate of a market, and the relative market share that a company have in a certain market. Now it is called BCG, short for Boston Consulting Group, because it was developed by the Boston Consulting Group, and it talks mainly of, it uses basically two criteria, that is the market growth rate in a market and the relative market share, to classify the various product lines or business unit, strategic business unit of a company. Now, company managers use these metrics to be able to understand where to invest, where not to invest, and which portfolio to divest. And with these, they can make decisions like which business to go into and which not to go into, because the BCG matrix kind of give them a picture, an overall picture of how a market is performing and how they are performing inside that market. And knowledge of this will really help them, like I have said, to know which business to go into, which not to go into, and which of their strategic business you need to invest more and which not to invest into, right? So the BCG matrix is basically there to help managers to make decisions, and from these decisions develop strategies. All right, now the GE matrix is like the BCG matrix because it equally helps managers to make decisions, right? And with these decisions to develop strategies. Now, the difference between these two matrices is that the BCG matrix has 4 cells, right? So the BCG matrix classify a company's strategic business unit or product lines into 4 cells, like why the GE matrix has 9 cells. That means they classify a company's product line or business unit into 9 cells, right? Using 2 criteria, but the 2 criteria used in the GE matrix to classify a company's product line or business unit into 9 cells. These criteria are more wider and takes into consideration so many aspects than the 2 criteria used in the BCG matrix. So this makes the GE matrix superior in a way to the BCG matrix. The GE matrix, you can equally call it the directional policy matrix. I guess it is time now for us to go to the board, because the base of this video is really to show you how to draw the diagram, master a secret to draw the diagram, and from there you can easily understand the various choices that managers can make in respect to the GE matrix and the BCG matrix, and from there develop strategies. So let's go over to the board. This is a board. method that we are going to be using to explain the BCG and the GE matrix. So we are going to start with the BCG matrix. Let's get started. Please don't mind my handwriting. Sometimes I write well, sometimes I write like a foul scratching kind of, but just bear with me, okay? It's the knowledge that counts, not the handwriting. I have put the basic diagram. It has four quadrants, the basic diagram of the BCG matrix, and together we're going to do the leveling. Remember I said two criteria are being used to classify the elements inside the BCG matrix, and the first criteria is known as the market growth rate, while the other criteria is known as relative market share. So let's level those in. Right here I'm going to put the market growth rate, and up there I'm going to put the relative market share. So there you have it. Now my voice is cracking because I recorded the video already. I did a video like this already, so I thought, but my phone kind of did something, so nothing was being recorded. So I have been talking and talking, that's why my voice is actually sounding cracked. All right, so bear with me. So right here we have the market growth rate, and up there we have the relative market share. So those are the two criteria used in classifying these the four elements that are going to put under these inside these four quadrants. Now for the market growth rate, what is market growth rate? Basically, to know if a market is growing or not, you can reflect the GDP in that market or in that industry will help you out. Take for example that we are analyzing a company known as XYZ Enterprises, and it is a company in the construction industry. Now if you want to find out if that industry is growing or not, you can just look at the revenue from that industry, or the income, or the GDP, right, from that industry. Now if, let's just take for example, if in the year 2020 the GDP from construction was 1 billion, 2021 it went up to 3 billion, 2022 it went up to 7 billion, 2023 it went up to 15 billion. You can see how the GDP is increasing, isn't it? That is a good reflection or a good way to know if a particular industry or market is growing or not. I did a video analyzing or looking at the relationship between industry, market, and customer group. You can check out the video. It's a fantastic video. Here I'm going to interchangeably use industry to mean market, or market to mean industry, but in that video I give you like the relationship, the difference between a market and an industry. There's a slight difference, right? Check out the video, please. Now, if a market is growing rapidly, we're going to put it here, high market growth rate. But if the market is not growing, it is somehow stable, or the growth rate is somehow really insignificant, it signifies low growth rate. So that is why we have here high market growth rate and low market growth rate. So that is the explanation of this part of it. Now let's go to the next one, relative market share. Now what is relative market share? Relative market share in this case will be trying to know, remember we're looking at a company, we're taking an example that this company that we're trying to analyze or come up with their BCG matrix is known as XYZ Enterprises, a company in the construction industry, right? Now, to know their relative market share, you have to ask yourself, okay, in 2020, out of this 1 billion that was made in construction, how much did XYZ Enterprises make? Did they make 1 million, 10 million, 500 million? From this, out of the 1 billion made, how much went to them? How much did they make? That is relative market share. So it might be high or low. So up there we're going to put high relative market share and low relative market share. So we have that leveled, relative market share leveled into high and low, and the market growth rate leveled into high and low. So let's classify the elements under here. Okay, we have four quadrants here that we need to do the classification. So there are basically four elements that we're going to be classifying under this four quadrant. That means each of these elements will be then going under one of the quadrants. Okay, so we have star, we have cash cow, we have question mark, we have joke, isn't it? So My secret to leveling this and mastering this is that you have to first of all look for where high and high meets. What do I mean by high and high? Where high market growth rate meets high market relative market share, where they meet level that are star. So this is high market growth rate, and this is where this is high relative market share. This is where they meet. They meet inside this box. Same. High relative market share occupies all of these two boxes. High market growth